let's understand how NADMO is preparing to deal with the possible flooding situation in the country. We do know how slow NADMO has been, don't we? But in the studio with me is the Director of Communication for NADMO. Here's George Kwejo Ayisi. He'll help us understand what their plans are. It's good to see you, sir. Thank you very much for your time this afternoon. I was just talking about the very slow nature in which NADMO usually responds to some of these emergencies. I believe you know I'm not wrong. Let me come in here since you just mentioned it. I'll have you finish it.
Okay.
But breaking down people's properties that are supposedly in waterways, we've seen that happen a couple of times. People have said that that's actually a knee-jerk reaction to a problem to which we should be finding a more lasting solution. Yeah,
let's take the capital city, for instance. The long-lasting solution will be a total or radical re-engineering of the city. And you know that is a very expensive exercise for the nation to undertake. Okay, but as of now, some of the buildings are already there. And what we do is to warn them that, look, the rains, as you've said, the meteorological department is actually giving you the details of the kind of rains we are going to have. And so we caution them, and then we tell you to move to higher grounds when the rains are coming in. Move your properties and assets away from where you are, because you definitely know the rains are going to come to, you know, take your property and others. So if you heed the caution, then of course we can save lives and properties when the rains come, because we know they are going to come. And those who stay within the flood-prone areas, they know the areas, okay? And so when you do those warnings and go and they heed it and move, we are able to mitigate the disaster and co that is going to come up when the rains come. Do you have any specifics that you can share with us regarding how far you have gone with this education drive that you embark on? Usually you embark on every year, because I'm thinking if you embark on this educational drive every year, but people should already be aware of what to do at this time of the year. Yeah, but sometimes, you know, people are a bit recalcitrant when it comes to heeding advice. You get it? So they know, oh, you say this all the time. They wait till it hits them. Then they begin to realize the reality. Okay, and so that has been our worry and our problem. But that notwithstanding, we are not giving up on the education. It is a very critical part of our work as NADMO. We have the pre-disaster, the disaster, and the post-disaster precautions or activities that we undertake. Okay, so before the rains come in or the floods, we need to do the education in any way. Okay? And that is what we are doing via the media, me being here, and our volunteers on the ground at the zonal level in the areas where the floods occur. We do that. Speaking of that, anyway, we understand that the NADMO is always under-resourced. Is there any special financial allocation to NADMO, or have you even received what's due you already? To be honest with you, just last week or so we had a budget session. We were expecting a certain quantum of money to be released, about 10 million. 10 million Ghana cedis. Yes, and we were yet. And that will be for the year? No, for the quarter. Oh, for the quarter. Yeah. Okay. So we can do a preparedness for these kind of, you know, we had fires before this one. So when the fires time came, we were at your sister station, Asempa, the other time. And so that is how it is. And so 10 million you were expecting. Have you received that? As of last week when we had the budget session, we had not received them, but we were assured the documents were being processed and we're going to get the money. So how soon are you going to get the money? Because and I'm asking this based on the new prediction that the meteorological agency is putting out there. They're saying that in this year we are to expect a longer period of rains and that we're going to have floods. We know we already have floods, but it appears it's going to be, the rains are going to come and they're going to stay a bit longer than they usually do. So when are you going to receive this money? As we speak, I believe by the end of this quarter we should have the money, because last week we had the budget session, and so by the end of this month, middle to the end of this month, we should have it, because that was the assurance we had from our finance officer.
All right.
But beside this thing, sometimes we are going to have a proper demonstration led by our Director General to have cleanups and then encourage people to desilt their gutters and others, so that the water can have free flow when it rains. You get it? So that is very important. Our DG is going to lead that. We will invite the media, so we do that to create the awareness and consciousness of the public towards the coming rain. You have the details from Meteo, and so we have to help, to educate and inform the public constantly. We believe you'll be our partners in this drive.
Well, we already are your partners.
Yes.
We're doing this interview for free, actually.
Yeah. No.
So very well, let me finally, you can still have the money, but not necessarily be able to relieve people of their misery when the floods coming on them.
We can help us switch the pace.
Right, but what is the plan for the money you're expecting?
Oh, yeah. We need to stock our warehouses with relief items. When the flood does come and there are victims, we need to support them. Okay, after our search and rescue missions and then getting people to safe havens and all that, we need to support them. A case in point is the Zabzuku one. You get it. As we speak, they are putting things. You spoke to the DC.
Yes, but
yes.
I am, and quite frankly, I am personally not convinced.
Yeah.
I don't think that any of the parents who we saw in that story with their children without a roof over their heads will be convinced that he couldn't give us timelines.
Yeah.
Where are they going to sleep tonight?
Yeah, for now, our report is that they are putting up with families, you get it. But we are sending some packets of iron sheets. The schools that have been ripped off, we can put them in shape immediately. So that tomorrow, our regional director and the team are moving to the place.
Do they necessarily have to move there? Why can't the items go there? Why can't the money...
Yeah, they go with the items.
You have an office there, don't you?
Yeah,
NADMO?
we do.
So why...
We have a district office, we have a regional office, and all that.
Is it that you don't have the material there in the office?
Yes, at the district level, they don't have enough material. It's at the regional level. And so they are moving, and the distance is about 100 miles off from the regional center. Okay, so they need
the regional center is where?
Yeah, it's Tamale.
So they have to move from Tamale to Zabzugu.
Yes.
And why can't they do that today? Why does it have to wait till tomorrow when your boss is going there?
They were having dissect meetings, and then the region had to put things together before they move. They've done some assessments and we're doing the final appraisals to know that these are the things we need to send immediately. And that is exactly what the regional director is doing.
I'm smiling because I'm really not convinced because once again, the rain, the storms hit the town and its surrounding communities over the weekend. Yeah. So if there has to be any proactive measures, it should have been within the week, so that if any, Monday should.
Tomorrow is.
Monday. No, within the weekend. Okay. Monday should be the latest that any relief items reach them. Don't you think?
Yes, but it's been a bit late. But tomorrow will not be too late. We empathize with the pains and the sufferings they are going through. But we are sending the things to do it fast for them, so that they can get a better safe haven, than being stranded as you showed on your screens.
So those children that you saw, I'm not sure if you saw those children, about 30 of them, according to our reporter, with their parents, and they're just looking into empty air, not knowing what to do, not knowing.
That's why we say we'll be there
tomorrow
with them.
You'll be there tomorrow.
Yes, we'll definitely be. Our regional director will be there tomorrow. The team is moved today, and tomorrow he is moving with the items to go and help.
Very well said. Thank you very much for your time. Do you have any final words, though?
Any
special advice to people who may be in flood-prone areas?
Yes, we want them. Our education is ongoing. Know where you are. The risk assessment ought to be done. There, if you are in a flood-prone zone, you need to take the precautionary measures. We'll be doing our educations, and you need to know that. You need to move to higher grounds if need be. If you have items and that are papers and others, you need to put them in a higher ground if you know where you are is a flood-prone zone. All these things are important to safeguard your assets. So let's continue to heed advice. Let's clear our gutters that are choked. And they are part of the major reasons why we have this.
I said I was going to let you leave, but just hold on for me briefly. And let's take this report. So as you may know, the Eastern, Bonoahafo, Upper East and Upper West regions have all experienced their share of the rains, with more predicted to come. So Hannah Odame attended a news conference today that was addressed by the Meteorological Agency. Here's the report.
I bring you the seasonal forecast for the major raining season for the southern belt of the country for the year 2018. Now, this year, the Meteo Office makes us aware that we're going to have a long raining season, and this is going to have early onset and late cessation. Early onset, by that I mean the rains will start in April, which is just a few days away, and end in late July. Now, these rains are going to be normal to above normal, meaning that we're not going to have any negative impact. Now, when I talk about the southern belt, I mean areas from the Bonoahafo region down to the east coast and the west coast. These areas include Takrade, Axim, Aflao, Koforidua, and even Ada areas in Greater Accra region. As you can see, we are going to have above normal, which is the dark green, and then normal is the light green, and then the grayish or beige color, which is below normal. And so, in summary, the Meteo Office is letting us know that this year the rains are going to stay longer than usual, but we're not going to have any negative impact. Now, there are some precautionary measures they want us to take. However, some precautionary measures will have to be adhered to.
For the rainfall pattern that we're going to have in 2018, precautionary measures has to be taken. Kids, even whenever there is an approaching storm, we have to be careful. You don't have to sit in the house and send your children out, because with attendance, lightning flashes, you may have rumbling, tender rumblings and lightning flashes here and there. We have to take precautionary measures. When some of us attempt even to cross weak bridges, when we have the bridges covered with rains. And so all these things have to be taken care of. And then, additionally, those doing salt mining, miners, they may not have a field day because of the rainfall that we're going to have. We shall have flash floods here and there. And so care has to be taken. And then, to the farmers, the farming communities, they don't also have to farm in very low-lying places, especially for the southern half of the country. And additionally, we have to desert our gutters. The outlet of the Odo River should be made bigger so that any downpour that will cause the Odo River to go up can run into the sea.
For you and I, the little we can do is to plant some grass. This grass has the capability to hold the waters when the rains come down, so that we'll avoid some erosion, which we all know has negative impacts on the environment. From the Meteo Office, my name is Hannah Odame for JoyNews.
Well, I'm sure you're concerned and you have your own concerns. Well, the NADMO man is here. Do you have any reaction to that?
Yeah, I think it's a good weather warning. All of us should heed it. The Meteo people now, they are near accurate.
Near accurate.
And so when they say it, we take it serious. And I pray
Speaking of accuracy, though, recently we did a report on every Thursday we do technologically based stories. So we did a report, and there's a school in Sunya, University of Energy and Natural Resources. They're looking to partner the Meteorological Agency to get them more accurate data with which they can make accurate predictions. I don't know how NADMO could, get involved in all of these to make it work, because there's a satellite station that has been placed there.
Oh, that's good.
It's United States and Taiwan collaboration. But really, it's here, so Ghana can take advantage of it. I don't know whether or not they've reached you on that.
Well, NADMO is a coordinating agency, and we've been having collaborative workshops. We just finished one last week at GAFC, Ghana Armed Forces Commander Staff College, with fire service, 48 engineers, geological survey, and all the other agencies that are related to disaster management. And so we do these things, and they bring out their findings and reports to update the other agencies, particularly NADMO, so that we'll be in the right position. So if that institution is having that collaboration with Matthew, we will, get our Director General to find out the details. Then we can do proper collaboration, so we can caution the public against.
That should be very helpful. So thank you very much for your time once again.
Our data issues about the good thing, but yes, we have the data. But now where we are,
so when we were backstage, it was just showing me details of the assessment that they've done concerning those who have been involved and those who have been affected by the rainstorms. Quite a number of them. We're looking. I don't have the total here, but if
152 houses, and then about 2,061
152
people,
houses and 2,061 people.
Affected, but and 7 communities affected.
So let me just make it clear. So in total, here is a national NADMO assessment sheet. Is that what you call it? It's a NADMO assessment sheet, and what they have here is an assessment of those who have been affected by the rains up north. We're looking at 152 houses, 2,061 people were affected, and then about 7 organizations, including schools. 7 communities in all. And then there are schools and churches as well. But today, later by tomorrow, we're sure that NADMO is reaching these people with some help. Even though some may say it's really, really late.
It looks late.
Thank you very much for your time. And I hope that we're all bracing for the weather according to the Meteorological Agency and how it will be. We'll be here to bring you more information, including helplines that you can call to get some help as and when you need it. George Ayisi is the Communications Director for NADMO, bringing us up to speed on what their plans are, even as we expect more rains.
I hope we'll have more of this collaboration.
Certainly we should.
Thank you. We are grateful.
You're still watching The Pulse with me, Gifty and Apia.